Hey buddy, it's Victor. It's time for another Eden Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance series. Hush Delirium Week has finally concluded, and after yesterday's episode, I think we can all collectively say it's about time. It was quite the theme week. I wouldn't say it was the most successful one. We had a couple of frustrating runs towards the end there, and then other runs we just flat out just mowed right over Delirium and Hush. So it was okay, but I think that the new like streak goal down below that we were debuting today, the No Seas Tainted Run, which is going to be a Tainted Eden run on the No Seas challenge set that I made many years ago, is going to be much more spicier and intense. So first off, here's your meme slash picture of the day slash mosh kid of the day, sent in here by Pugs live I've go. It's hard to tell because it's like kind of cut off on Reddit. Top thread was, I first started watching Sinvicta right around the time I found out I was pregnant. My baby girl is now 8 months old. She's rather picky about what we put on the TV for her to watch, but she's watched Sinvicta since she was a newborn. In fact, the only thing we could watch when she was first born, because she would actually fall asleep to it. I think she finds Sin's voice soothing since I heard it almost every night while in the womb. I can't wait to one day have her dad teach her how to play. I have no doubt she'll beat Beast before I do. Notice my mosh pets in the background too. Hey, thank you very much, Pugs. I think it's Pugsley Goo. I think that's actually, now I'm looking at it again, I zoomed out a little bit. Thank you very much for the Mosh Kid submission. I do indeed love the doggos as well. I also took the liberty, this is not the full picture because I did crop out some of the pictures on the mantle or on the stand or entertainment center there. I tend to do that because I worry about people's things in the background they don't usually notice. They don't want tens of thousands of people to see. So seed day is going to be 3 Lima Romeo Quebec, Lima Charlie Hotel Zulu. We've got we got my brother Tempo's hair, and good tiers and decent damage to start with here, I'd say. We also have Fruity Plum, which, I mean, Baby Plum, Fruity Plum, whichever, they're all the same. We're also starting off with a Hierophant card, which is nice too. So yeah, we got good movement speed here, good shot speed. Can't really complain about this. It's going to feel good getting back to regular old Eden. So let's talk about the Tainted No Seas challenge. For those of you who, the No Seas challenge predates a lot of you, I'm sure, from being here in the mosh pit. Basically what the No Seas stand for, it's no coins, no cards, no chests. Nothing. So I cannot, under any circumstance, get anything that has to do out of chests, no cards, so like no tarot cards or anything like that. I can take pills if I wanted to, and that also renders shops almost useless, with the exception that I am allowed to take the quarter, since technically it is an item, and that will give me, that's sort of like my lifeline, I guess, if you want to call it that. And on top of that, I have to play as Tainted Eden, which is going to add to the crap factor, and I'm sure to the excitement factor of many, 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 many people. Ooh, I'll take Nose Goblin here. I wouldn't mind getting, I am going to bomb Donation Machine here. I wouldn't mind getting another Soul Heart. Honestly, the battery would be nice too. We'll see if we can afford that one. But yeah, I thought I'd try to, because we have a lot of people who submit like personal pictures for the picture of the day and meme of the day and stuff like that. Some stuff people have really not thought about what's in the background. Other things, I think people just do it deliberately. But for the most part, like, I think that it's easy to kind of forget, like, oh, there's an address in the background. Oh, hey, that's my family member. They probably wouldn't want to be able to be seen like that, or whatever. So that's one of the precautions that I take, and I try to think like what I would want if I was like, let's say I had a girlfriend and she submitted a picture for some internet meme thing. What would I appreciate her like cropping that out, like a picture of us or whatever like that. So I don't know. I try to stay kind of thoughtful as much as I can. First the Lost. So on the last week's question of the episode here was the start of the Hush Delirium week after it got delayed by a day thanks to the birthday mosh pit coming out and unlocking the TM Trainer Double Jeopardy run, which we all know how that one went. This one coming in from 1L or 1I Pandibs. I've said, question of the episode, or question of the day, if they didn't remove mouse controls on Rebirth, do you think you'd still be using the mouse today in Repentance? No, probably not. I was pretty used to using the mouse, but I do think that eventually the natural progression would have caused me to just use a keyboard. I tend to favor the keyboard a lot over, there goes that Soul Heart, by the way. I tend to favor the keyboard over most things whenever I can. So it would not surprise me to simply have done the same thing for Isaac. Like, I would, if I could do it, I would play Monster Hunter World or Monster Hunter Wild with keyboards. You know, I try not to use the controller as much as I can, just because I'm so just accustomed to the keyboard. So, but yes, those of you who didn't know, who didn't watch my old school of Isaac playthroughs, you would not have known that I used to play with the actual mouse. Yes, the mouse, because you can use it, and it's something that they re-enabled in Rebirth a lot later. That you could go to the INI files and change the mouse controls, set the options, the mouse control option to 1, and it's very awkward. I got used to it because I was playing Super Amazing Wagon Adventure for so long, because I used to do it in every single stream. And then it kind of just went from there. So I'm gonna take the 2 of diamonds. I'm not gonna leave the Hierophant card behind. Only reason why I was hesitant to use the Hierophant cards is because I really don't want to use fresh soul hearts before we got into the Devil Deal, in case if something stupid happens, like I take bad damage or like clown physics happens, that sort of thing. So, you know, Bloodshot Eye, we got to be careful here because it does fire on its own, and it's not good for an orbital to do that. And even worse is a useless active item here in Data Miner. But the No-See challenge has been very successful. We've done it twice so far. Once, I believe, way back in Repentance. Excuse me, when Repentance first came out. And then we haven't done it since. So, yeah, these stores are something else. I tell you what. But hold on to the 2 diamonds until we need it. Or the opportune moment approaches. Been talking a lot today because I was streaming a lot. I'm playing as much as I can of the Dune Awakening beta, and it's been good. It's been good. Some of the things that I've seen in that game have really impressed me. Other things have that traditional, I would say, expected survival game jank to it. But for me, because I'm a big Dune fan, and also I don't play survival games all that much, it doesn't seem that noticeable. Like I think the last survival game I played was Ark, and I hated Ark. I thought that was the stupidest game I've ever played. And of course, no disrespect to people who do play Ark, because it's a massively popular game, but that game was just not doing it for me, man. It was not at all. But Dune, because you know, I am looking at it through a very big fan's gaze. Because I am, you know, I'm just a huge Dune fan. I love the fact that I'm on Arrakis. I love the fact that I have to deal with Shai-Hulud and all this stuff. It sort of feeds that immersion mentality to where it's like, yeah, there's some jank to it, but it's the good jank. You know, it's like the good. It's what you would. Wow, I freaking as soon as that happened, I knew that was gonna happen. As soon as Fruity Plum was gonna go over there. So now we are down to 1 soul heart, and that right there is the reason why I didn't want to use. I did not want to use the Hierophant card. By 1 soul heart, I mean if we had a 2 heart deal in here, we would have gone down to 1 soul heart. So I'm going to take Uppy's head. Uppy's head is just going to be better for us, and I think we're just going to head on down. Yeah, mouse controls were something that I used for a long time. Like, we did it during the Isaac or during the birthday stream as well, where I went back and I wasn't even on webcam for it, and I turned on the webcam kind of because I had to use my good camera to film my cell phone. That's the only way I could get it to work without tearing down my entire camera setup that we use for Pokemon breaks. But yeah, so I was basically filming my cell phone with the camera that was filming me, and we played Flash Isaac, and then I also, on top of that, I deliberately made the UI look terrible, like the overlay, and then I also played with the mouse. So it truly was an old school experience, and a lot of people got a kick out of it. It was It was fun. I couldn't make it through the entire run though, without having to go back here. And yep, that's why I didn't want to come in here. Stupid me. So we can only hope and pray that Brimstone is still available, because after the week that we've had in Hush Delirium week, I'm ready for a Brimstone run. It's 99.9999999% not going to be available by the time we get in there. But that shows you, and this is the thing that I've talked about before, that people love to say like, dude, it's one hit, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. One hits do matter. That shot that we took right at the end there from that champion bomb fly against Baby Plum mattered. It cost us Brimstone on this floor. That's why that matters. So, before you jump to conclusions and think like, oh, dude, you get hit. Like, everyone gets hit. Like, shut up. It's not about the hit most of the time, and I think most of you kind of know that. That's not the point. It's about what we've lost. And in this case here, we've lost Brimstone, unless we get lucky. We've lost Brimstone because of that hit that was directly caused by something like that, for example. So now we have to make up 2 hearts, essentially, for us to get Brimstone, and that's not going to happen. We are floating a lot of money. My only hope is that we can maybe get lucky with a mushroom, or at the very least, we can get like multiple soul hearts out of the shop. So of course, assuming that we can find it. Eternal Heart's not going to do anything for us here. If we find one, we need soul hearts. Judgment would be nice for us to maybe get an HP upgrade. There's 1 soul heart there, and I stupidly forgot to double in recovery mode here. I am going to take telekinesis. It's better for us for defense, and it enables us to be more maneuverable against the more annoying bosses. Plus, it just keeps us safe. So telekinesis will give us that very awesome repulsion field that will not only stop the shots in their tracks, but also turn them around on the enemies that try to shoot us with them. I guess it's at the bottom of that long, skinny room. And I'm not going to go in the curse room for obvious reasons. We could go into the mob trap room, but let's see if Brimstone is still there. I highly doubt it. I'll be very happy if it is. I mean, I'm hopeful, but I'm not hopeful. Hopeful, but cautiously hopeful. Take the Hangman card. Hangman card could be, we can use it in here. We get some keys. Got a cent. Good enough for me. Yeah. There we go. We lost Brimstone. With this room having the wider column to move around in is nice, but it certainly doesn't mitigate the damage of or the danger that the flies could detonate on you, even if you're not trying to shoot them, as you just saw with Nose Goblin or with something like Bloodshot Eye. I'm gonna go to the curse room now because I have a feeling we're probably not going to see a Devil Deal on this floor. I was shocked that we even got one on the last floor, to be honest. So we have a bedroom, and that's going to be nice. At least we get 3 soul hearts back. Got plenty of bombs to go in there, so this is no problem at all. And 2 crawl spaces, and belly buttons The other button's fine, I guess, but it's certainly not like the best thing that we could have hoped for in a crawl space. We're getting to the point now with us being in the close to the mid game. Yeah, we are in the mid game right now. Hopefully finding ourselves a little bit of damage to complement our tears rate. Our tears rate is also not that great. It's not bad, of course. 3.67 is certainly passable and better than what we've seen on most runs, but we can always hope for more. Now, Isaac is a game that unironically you need to be greedy when it comes to certain things, especially stat ups. The more stat ups, the better. I think everyone knows that. The greed heads here just kind of they're just made for this room in particular is made for one conflict at a time. Let them group up. You don't need to panic. You don't need to run around anything crazy like that. Just let them group up and then just start kiting them. Item rooms continue to be a huge disappointment this entire month, really. I mean, I don't know what's going on with May. May, you're supposed to be our best month. And so far, you have not been our best month. I would say, honestly, May is shaping up to be one of the weakest months that we've had this year so far. It's certainly nothing like April was, and I still think March might take the prize for the strongest month of the year so far. I say that, but you know, hopefully that means that we're due for the great reversal of June, because as anyone who's been around for almost a year now, remember June was an absolute hell month, and it wasn't even close in terms of like the amount of awful runs that we were seeing. It was the only time actually that I've ever had to apologize on the game's behalf for how bad the runs have been, because it was really bumming me out. It was really affecting the commentary, which it was affecting other people's enjoyment of the videos too. So I had to put out an actual statement addressing it because it was just so awful. Of course, if you don't believe me, you can just look it up. The post is still up. I don't know why you wouldn't believe me, but you can not believe people about anything these days, even if you know they're telling the truth. I don't believe you. Okay. We live in weird, scarily stupid times. The world card here, and it's good to know we were going in the absolute wrong direction. And again, they put all of the shop and the item rooms really close to the boss. I'm not sure why it keeps happening. I've also been noticing, and this is something I talked about on stream a couple days ago. Like, am I the only one who's been noticing that the maps have gotten obscenely large since the patch? To my knowledge, I don't believe that they messed with anything in regards to the map generation. I know that there was a few new rooms that were put in, but I don't know if that messed up with the code or I don't know. Many people on the Twitch stream said that they also have been noticing it, and to like a weird degree. It just seems like every single map is is a pseudo XL map at this point. Post them in the comments and let me know. I would like to know. Also, yes, I'm not using telekinesis at all right now, and that could have saved me from a couple of shots, so we need to strap in here. Take the soul heart from the shop. And, yep. Item rooms. May item rooms in particular. Ooh, oof. That's something else. Now, unfortunately, telekinesis does not stop brimstone beams, although that would be amazing if it did. Just had to dodge into that one. Then we got hit by brimstone anyway. 78% deal with the devil. All right. Unbelievably, somehow, some way, we were actually in the running for boss rush on this run. Again, our damage hasn't been terrible. It's not been the best, but it's not been the worst. I'm gonna get hit by that. I don't know what to think of this run. Nose Goblin's definitely helping out. Very lucky to have a trinket that actually does something useful for once. Of course, that's being somewhat disingenuous because it was clearly a riff on the fact that most trinkets are kind of dog water. This is a hangman room if I've ever seen one. Remember, we're gonna take the fool card anyway, so here we go. Get ourselves a half soul heart. I like it. I've been enjoying the Dune beta. It's starting to get to the point where like I don't want to play it anymore because I don't want to ruin stuff for myself. And it's absolutely going to be a let's play here on the main channel when it comes out, and most likely probably get relegated to the gaming channel. The gaming channel is more tuned for longer let's plays like that. Those of you who remember my Minecraft let's play from a couple years ago, that was fun but brutal, man. It's a good time over there on the gaming channel. Yep. Item rooms continuing to show their stuff. So great. Love him. Just super great. One day we'll get a good item out of an item room. I don't know when, but one day we will. We found a giant Isaac circle here now with only 2 minutes left, and we may need to start rescinding the whole like we're gonna make boss rush talk now because there's the boss and there's the rush, but we don't have the teleport. Whenever we have telekinesis active, we just do not have to ever worry about projectiles, and we can do our thing. So we have not found the Fool card yet, and time's starting to get a little bit short. So right there, as you saw, telekinesis actually repelled the bomb fly for getting too close. And wouldn't you know it, lucky us, we've left only 2 rooms left on the map for it to possibly have the Fool card. Wouldn't you know it, that one of those rooms actually has the cards in there. Despite us going everywhere. But the one place that we needed to. And guess what? It's not the one near us. How does he do it? See, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, it's insanely unlucky. People love to say, oh, confirmation bias, confirmation bias. Brother, I got something to tell you. It's not confirmation bias if you see someone so incredibly unlucky so consistently over the course of years. We're talking over a decade of playing a game. It's documented. I think we can call it more than a pattern at this point. And despite all that, we still end up winning. Just got to do it through sheer will. Just can't let the game think that it's going to win. Or get its way. Or do everything you can to make sure the game doesn't get its way. I'm trying to use the Bloodshot Eye here as an orbital. And we missed boss rush by a second, so you know what? It didn't even matter. And I'm taking Mom's Knife and Dark Bum. By a second, dude. I legitimately was trying to use the orbital, and Mom's foot just kept coming down and then going right back up. And then she wasn't using her door attacks. And yeah. There we go. So never mind. Don't listen to me about boss rush. We got D-Bizzle, we got Mom's Knife. Fortunately, D-Bizzle does not take Rotten Heart, so that would be very cool. And a greed fight. Cap it all off. Keep your Steam sale. Keep your golden key and your regular key too, game. Whenever something like that happens, in my head, I just picture the game going, sorry, you didn't make boss rush. Well, here's a key at the end of the level for you. That's golden. That's what you sound like in my brain, game. So, congrats. Thank you for the golden key. And also, thanks for Mom's knife. I look forward to beating you with it. But if you're a Dune fan and you're looking forward to playing Dune Awakening, okay, sure. Looking forward to playing Dune Awakening. I will be posting in the Discord when the game is has released exactly what server and what siege we're going to be playing on, because so I thought that Dune, when it was coming out, I thought that it was going to be like in private servers, kind of like Ark in a way. Like, I thought that it was going to be player run servers that were not run by Funcom. And they basically give you the server version of the game, and then you have to make your own like worlds and stuff. That's what I thought it was going to be, but it turns out that they're going to actually have dedicated servers. So that's pretty cool, and they have like individual servers for like regions, and then in those regions there's sub-regions that are all dedicated to different shards and stuff. So it's like, I like that. I'm glad that there's dedicated servers, because that means we don't have to worry about cheaters or anything like that coming in and invading our server. But I do plan on having established an official Mosh Pit server. It's going to be in the U.S., so those of you not in the U.S., then I don't know what to tell you, but it's where I live. Oh, okay, telekinesis just doesn't like to work on floating shots. So it is going to be a US-based server, so just remember that. But I'll give everyone the name of it in Discord. You have to be in the Discord though to know it, though. I'm not going to give it out publicly because it's going to be way too popular, and I don't want to like seem like it's like a sort of like a goon squad situation, as you remember those back in the day. But it should be fun. Like, I'm looking forward to the PvP. I'm looking forward to the base building and the community aspect of it. There's like a whole governance system where one of the bigger guilds can set tax rates, or can decide to which villages get, or which settlements get protection or stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. What it reminds me of, in the best of way possible, it reminds me of old Star Wars Galaxies and how player cities ran back then. And that was some of my favorite times in gaming. Like, seriously, some of my favorite times. I loved being able to be in a player-run government and sort of dedicate myself to helping the town work. All right, so we gotta tighten up here, because we are on 2 HP. Did get the pact and also empty vessel, which is good. But now's the time for champions to be made, D-Bizzle. We need nothing but soul hearts here, and we need lots of them. Taking the pact was probably a little bit too greedy. We didn't really need it with me having having Mom's knife. Got baited by a boss trap room. This Halloween's Hallmark movie of the year. We found out the last time we had telekinesis that we can actually catch those fires from the Holy Bonies. Yeah, we don't have overwhelming damage right now, so it's a little bit scary that we weren't one-shotting those angel fetuses. All red hearts count here. You've gotta be kidding me, man. Yeah, we need to find the super secret room. Hopefully it's a womb room. Not. As you may have been seeing, our lack of movement speed here has been kind of an issue. No, not fighting Haunt. And basically, we're just looking for another blue fire, looking for a couple more red hearts to give D-Bizzle a chance to help us out. Of course, he's not helping us out when we need him most. That is D-Bizzle. Come on, D-Bizzle. You were so good the last time. Need you on point, son. And it's very quickly becoming clear the game is not going to give us any fires or anything like that to be bombing out of. Filigree Feather could be interesting if we had it earlier in the game. Alright, that's 2 in a row, D-Bizzle. We get benched because this is how you get benched. Now, I've given you plenty of opportunities, son, to thrive here, and you haven't been. You've been trolling. You've been trolling and not thriving. What I need you to do is I need you to pay real close attention. You need to lock in, all right? Because right now, we don't have time for this silliness. We may have telekinesis, but we don't have total immunity to Isaac's BS. As we saw with the shot that telekinesis just flat out just ignored. Oh, yeah. All right, so that was on 28, so we need to wait until 40 before we go fight Isaac. That way we have the empty vessel shield. It won't kick in unless we're in an active room, and right now we are not. So we got a little ways to wait here. 28:40 is when the next shield comes up. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause. Timer pauses here. There's our shield. Depression getting in there, a couple licks. So we got him to skip phase 2 and go straight to phase 3, which is good. There we go. All right, chest. Here we go. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. These are all champion yellow chubs. This is horrifying. This is a terrible, terrible room. this movement speed and this damage, this is a bad room here. Luckily, Empty Vessel kicked in. Yeah, that was a well-deserved soul heart in there. Mystery sack. It did end. All right. All right. And too bad this isn't blueprints. I'd get more coins in the next run. Imagine. Oh, we didn't get that off in time, game. Imagine if we got coins for every dead end you hit. With all the Sinvicta navigation that goes on, we would be at 99 cents every single run. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to watch the Blueprints series because it's picking up in a good way. We're getting. I don't know how. I honestly don't know where I am in the progression of the game. Some people have said I've been doing a lot. I've been doing a lot of stuff much faster than some other people, and some other people have said that I've done it slower. So I don't really know exactly where I'm supposed to be in the game. But I am enjoying it still. There's a couple of things that have cropped up that feel like walls that I'm like, I don't know if I have the mental stomach to deal with this. Especially when it comes to the chest stuff. Like I was told that I didn't need to know anything about chess because one of the there's a couple of many great themes that are in that game. A lot of it's thematic when it comes to like chess is a very big one. Aquatic stuff like sailing or stuff with the ocean is also very, very, very big. Music is another very big component, and art as well in Blueprints. So it was sort of weird that and it could have just been people trolling me. I don't know. At this point, you just never know these days. But you know, I would think that my fan base, viewership would not deliberately troll me just to get a little kick. I mean, it does happen occasionally, but sort of a playful manner, not in a hey, do I need to know anything about chess to play this game? I should honestly learn how to play chess again. I used to know it a long time ago. I'm talking like 90 years ago. But I have since forgotten. Probably should have gotten those soul hearts, but oh well. Oh, okay. So you can't shoot me with the shot, so you're just gonna spawn stuff behind me. Gotcha. Of course, you say, Victor, you were just too close there. Yeah, but I was dealing contact damage with Mom's knife, so and I was going to back out whenever he was about to shoot, so. We did it. Absolutely did it. Flat stone. It does work with Mom's knife, as you see right here. It's kind of a funny combo. But we got there, and no, we're not fighting delirium. I've seen enough delirium for 1 week to know that I hit my limit, and I definitely hit my limit with yesterday's video, as those of you probably noticed by now. So thank you for watching, everybody. Short and sweet, but we did get it done there. Shout out to Mom's Knife, of course, for showing up at towards the midway, and D-Bizzle did help us get a few HP upgrades, but not without a little bit of trolling on his behalf, which yeah, that's standard, typical, classic D-Bizzle. So thank you for watching, everyone. Happy Monday. Have a great start to your brand new weeks here in the Mosh Pit. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. New like streak goal down below. Make sure you check it out. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. Like things and pages of mine like Langwart, Chronic Shadow, and Squeegee. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Sinvicta.